Warning: the following video contains disturbing material that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Parental discretion is advised. In olden times, there lived a king whose daughters were all beautiful, but the youngest was so very beautiful that the sun itself was astonished whenever it shone on her face. When the day was very warm, the beautiful youngest princess would go into the forest near the castle and sit down by the side of a cool well. She would take a golden ball to throw it high in the air and catch it. It was her favorite toy. One day, instead of the princess's golden ball falling back towards her hand, it went straight down the well. The well was so deep that the bottom could not be seen. She cried and cried until through her sobs she heard someone saying, "What troubles you, princess? You weep so hard that even a stone would pity you." She looked in the direction of the voice and saw a frog stretching its big ugly head from the water. She said, "I am weeping for my golden ball, which has fallen into the well. I can help you, but what will you give me if I bring back your toy?" answered the frog. "Whatever you want, dear frog," she said. "My clothes, my pearls, my jewels, even my golden crown. I do not want your clothes, your pearls, your jewels, nor even your golden crown. But if you will love me and let me be your companion, and sit by you, and eat off your golden plate with you, and sleep in your bed, if you will promise me this, I will go down and find your golden ball." "Oh yes," she said. "I promise you all you wish if you bring me back my ball." But what she thought was, what silly thing this frog says. All he does is sit in the water with the other frogs and croak. He could never be a companion to a human being. But the frog heard her promise and sank deep into the well. A short while later, he swims up with a golden ball in his mouth and threw it on the grass. The princess was delighted and immediately ran off with it. "Wait, wait," called the frog. "Take me with you. I can't run as fast as you." The princess did not listen. She ran home and soon forgot about the poor frog. The next day, the princess was dining with the king and all the courtiers, eating from her little golden plate, when something came creeping, splish splash, up the castle marble staircase. There was a knock on the castle door, and someone calling, "Princess, youngest princess, open the door for me." She ran to see who was outside, and there sat the frog. She slammed the door shut, then sat down to dinner again. The king asked, "My child, what are you afraid of? Is there a giant outside who wants to carry you away?" "Oh no," she replied. "It's not a giant, but a disgusting frog." "What does this frog want with you?" "Yesterday, as I was playing in the forest, my golden ball fell into a well. The frog fetched it for me, and because he insisted, I promised him he could be my companion, but I never thought he would be able to leave the well. Now he is at our door and wants to come in." The frog kept knocking and calling to the princess. The king said, "If you have made a promise, you must keep it. Go and let him in." The princess opened the door. The frog hopped inside and followed her. He cried, "Lift me up beside you." She hesitated until the king commanded her to do as the frog asked. Once the frog was on the chair, he wanted to be on the table. "Now, push your little golden plate nearer to me so that we may eat together." The frog enjoyed his food, but the princess could not eat. Then the frog said, "Now I'm tired. Carry me to your room. Make your silken bed ready. We will both lie down and sleep." The princess began to cry, for she was afraid of the cold, wet frog, who she did not like to touch, and who now wanted to sleep in her pretty, clean bed. But the king grew angry and said, "He helped you when you were in trouble. Don't be cruel to him." So she took hold of the frog with 2 fingers and carried him upstairs. She put him in the corner of her room. But once she was in bed, he crept close and said, "I'm tired. Lift me into your bed or I will tell your father." The princess was very angry. She picked up the frog and threw him with all her might against the wall. "Now, will you be quiet, horrible frog?" But when he got up, he wasn't a frog anymore. He was a young king with kind and beautiful eyes. He said to the princess, "A wicked witch cast a spell on me, turning me into a frog. No one could have rescued me from the spell but you, a beautiful princess. Tomorrow, let's be married and go together to my kingdom." The princess agreed. They went to sleep, and the next morning when the sun woke them, a carriage was waiting with 8 white horses. Behind stood a young king's servant, Faithful Henry. Faithful Henry had been so deeply miserable when his master was changed into a frog that he had 3 iron bands fastened around his heart to stop it from bursting with sadness. Now he was full of joy that the spell had been broken. When they had traveled a short way, the young king and princess heard a cracking noise, as if something had broken. "Henry, the carriage, it's breaking." "No, master, it's not the carriage. It is a band from my heart, which was put there in my great pain when you were turned into a frog and imprisoned in the well." Again, and once again, something cracked. Each time the young king thought the carriage was breaking, but it was the band springing from Faithful Henry's heart because his master is now free and happy. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you for listening, and if you want to listen to more stories without pictures or having to worry about looking at the screen, you can go Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, anywhere you guys listen to your podcast. I'll be on there, hopefully. If not, let me know in the comments below, and I will see if I can get my podcast there too. Also, don't forget to check out the Rook Up Shop and go check out Horrorville. Link in the descriptions down below. Also, link to the podcast on Spotify will be in the link down below. What's your favorite fairy tale? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, guys. Sweet dreams.